What is going on, people? And oh my god, we are so back. The championship is back. Are you not entertained after that match, Coventry versus Norwich City? We did end up salvaging a point at the end after the most infuriating game I have watched this entire season. We got a lot to unpack today. We'll split it up into the first half and second half. Really, same thing happened both halves. But we're going to break it down and give my post-match thoughts today and just go through the ins and outs of this madness of a game. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jonah Fatcat. I make EFL Championship and general football content. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Tomorrow, we're going to start rolling out our general recap EFL Championship content. So keep an eye out for that. Even though I could not take my eyes off of this game, Coventry City versus Norwich. I'm going to pull out my trusty notepad right here. I got a ton of notes written down, tons of nonsense. My heart is still beating, man. The end of that game was ridiculous. First things first, the starting lineup. The one change that was made in the starting lineup was what we expected was Sakamoto coming back into the squad for Brandon Thomas Asante. Do I think it was the right or wrong choice? I think it was the choice you needed to make. You would have thought going into this game, you wanted to have him there to control possession, keep their wingbacks pressed back, and boy, did that work. Really, it wasn't even from Sakamoto, it was from Efron Mason-Clark. He had Kellen Fisher looking like Kellen fish food in the first half. Second half, he tailed off a little bit. Both wingbacks for Norwich City were booked, so they were playing Ante nice in the second half, but honestly, it did not matter because the center backs that Norwich brought out today, Harry Darling in the middle, my goodness, that guy played like Bobby Moore today. That guy played like Rio Ferdinand, like freaking Virgil van Dijk in his prime. He was so good today. I gotta pull up his match ratings. It was genuinely infuriating how good this man was at football today. So let's see, how many clearances did he have? He had 12 clearances, 6 blocks, 2 tackles, 2 headed clears. 6 blocks is ridiculous. I honestly expect him to have more than 12 of the clearances, but that whole back line today was really good. Chrisen came off injured with his hammy in the second half, but he put in a shift today. Medic was really good today too. Talk about time wasting. These guys were time wasting in the first half. You understand, obviously, they're getting peppered. It's not like you wouldn't expect them to do that, but they were really playing some terrorist football today, if I'm being completely honest with you. But also, on our end, we needed to capitalize on our chances. So let's see what the total number came out to be. Oh. Or XG, bruh. To 0.13. 28 shots to 4. Oh my god, bro. How unlucky is that to not come away with a point, man? Or, you know what I mean. Not come away with all 3 points. Josh Sargent was a ghost today. He was neutralized. He was shut down. Their goal came from Matthias Kvistgarten, the guy that I have always been very high on. Took a little bit of a deflection. Honestly, I can't be mad. I cannot be mad at the way that the team played today. I cannot be mad at them conceding that goal. It was an unlucky goal. That's not on Rushworth. It was an unlucky deflection. Even the space between Bobby Thomas and Milan Van Ewijk was very, very small, and they threaded a nice little pass in there from the midfield, and there was nothing you could do on that goal. It is what it is. What I was looking for after that goal went in was how were they going to bounce back? Were they going to change the way they played? Were they going to panic? And they did not, which is a sign of a good team, a sign of a team that can persevere, a sign of a team that can stick around and stay in the game until ultimately some absolute nonsense happens, which is how we got that last goal. How about the effort, man, that Milan Van Ewijk put in today? He did not have Kane Kessler-Hayden. Some people were saying, and I don't know if it's confirmed or not, that he was detained by the police for speeding. In fact, he missed a game over that. To me is crazy. Trying to do too much, in my opinion. There's no way it could have been that serious, especially considering I got messages from someone who was at the game saying he was on the sideline in his Monzo tracksuit. So it couldn't have been anything crazy, but that's not what we're here for today. We're talking about the game. Milan Van Ewijk, let's pull up his stats. I already know they're not going to do him justice, but he was everywhere today. He had a 7.5 rating. Let's see. 81% accurate passing. 6 touches in the opposition box. 1 of 6 successful dribbles. It felt like better than that. The most important thing is the one tackle that he made today was the tackle in their box on Harry Darling. Take that after his absolute god performance. Ball ricochets to Ellis Sims. Ellis Sims tries to score. I don't know if it gets deflected by the keeper or if it's just off target slightly. And then Haji Wright gets the luckiest finish of his entire life after missing probably 2 ones that you would have expected him to finish pre-international break, and we equalized the fucking game, man. Come on. That shit was crazy. I think I have my match reaction. I'm gonna put it in there in this video, even though I need to edit it super quick before I go live with Sky Blue Fans TV at 6 p.m. UK. Go, go, go. That's clean! No, 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 oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Wait, does that stand? Does that stand? Does that stand? Does that stand? No, no, oh my god. Ellis and Hodge, I love you. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Yes! Come on! Let's get another. Oh my god. But let me see what else I have on the list of things we need to talk about today in the Jonah Fat Cat post-match show. Wow, I can't speak. I'm so excited. That feels like a win. You just felt like how this was going. There was no way we were scoring. We didn't concede a set piece. How about that? We take those. Time wasting in the first and second half. 3 minutes in the first half, 9 minutes in the second half. Serves them well. I mean, 4 or 5 guys went down with fake injuries. And thankfully, after the ref made a ton of questionable calls and was scared / not scared to use his yellow card and was almost flipping a wheel in his head if he was going to card people or not, finally said, enough of this nonsense. He pulled the keeper up. He pulled Harry Darling up in stoppage time when he tried to sell one. And it gave us as much time as possible. And it even looked like Norwich City were going to get a couple chances at the end of the game in that stoppage time because we were just so pushed up and so gassed. But some good defense, some good pressure by our midfield tracking back. How about Grimes today, man? Grimes, nothing too out of the ordinary for him, but he traveled so much. I got to start finding these stats of how much ground is traveled by the EFL Championship players. I know I do it for the Prem. So if you know where to find that, please let me know in the comments. I guarantee you Grimes is up there. This was his first game as captain, as we know. He definitely was more vocal. I could see that. He was giving it to the ref as, well-deserved. Definitely made a couple interesting calls. He didn't do his best to stop the time wasting in the second half until near the end, so he was giving it to him when it needed to be done. But the good thing is he's always very respectful, and he's never going to get us on the ref's bad side. He's only going to call things out when they need to be. What else happened today? Yeah, literally the 47th minute is when I have written down in my notes the time wasting began, which is absolutely insane. Now subs, BTA came on for Sox in the 65th minute. Definitely right. Honestly, hindsight is 2020, but BTA probably, we want him in the starting lineup if we want the chaoticness. If we really thought about it, we were going to control possession against Norwich City regardless, whether Sox or BTA was out there. Maybe you want BTA for the whole 90. I mean, him, Jack Radoni, and Milan Van Ewijk bursting down that right side is absolute nightmare fuel for anyone. Diallo was on a yellow, that kind of stupid foul on Bobby Thomas that could have very been a red if he didn't put his boot down like half a second later. And it's funny too, because in the second half, it was all down the right side. The first half, it was all down the left side. You wonder if maybe, EMC gassed out a little bit because he was put in an absolute shift in the first half. Really unlucky to not score. Especially that header that he had in the second minute of the game. Beautiful inward swinging cross by Sakamoto. Just very unlucky to not get that on the inside of the post. But he was also very good today. Let's take a look at the match rating to see if anything jumped out to me. EMC 6.9 rating definitely feels very unfair. But again, that's why we look at these things with a grain of salt. Almost created a goal. Wow. Jay Da Silva. Jay Da Silva was really good today. I really enjoyed Jay Da Silva. He's really growing into his own. We saw Brow come in late just to, to kind of switch things up. I don't look too much into that. Jay did have a knock in the Welsh camp, which made him withdraw, but he looked more than healthy today in his 87 minutes, booming down that left side with EMC. Some really good link-up play. In the first half, Radoni was drifting over that way. Let's see if we can get some heat maps over on Sofa Score. Yeah, Jay Da Silva was booming up the pitch today. You guys can't see that. I'm sorry. Wait, hang on. Oh, wait. Hang on. Let me cook. There we go. Jay Da Silva was booming up the pitch. And it's very funny. This is the first time we've ever seen a left-sided heavy heat map for Jack Radoni this season, at least. Normally, he goes down the right. Really, it truly was a tale of two halves on which side they decided to attack. A couple Norwich City fans were saying that they've been really, really weak down their left side. So where we attacked in the first half, I think that definitely showed. But bro, what in the world was that game? Ellis Sims came on and made an impact. I love that for him. I believe that's got to be his first meaningful moments this entire season in Championship. I think he played against Millwall in the FA Cup or whatever the hell it is. The Carabao Cup, the EFL Cup. You know what I'm talking about. Overall, man, feels like a recurring topic. We come into these things and we say we're very unlucky to not get the 3 points every game this season, barring the Millwall EFL Cup, which is a throwaway, and the first game against Hull City, where the attack just couldn't get much going. Definitely feel very unlucky to not get all 3. It started to just become comedic at a certain point, even in the first half. It was like 17 shots in the first half, and then 11 shots in the second half. So technically the second half was even more tame. But then we did end up just throwing everything forward. The kitchen sink was thrown at him. Get it? Liam Kitching. kitchen sink. We managed to scrape one. Going forward, though, gotta be more clinical. Norwich City's defense really improved this season after they conceded the most of the teams that didn't get relegated last season. They conceded 79 goals last season. But today, they looked like Burnley 2024. Their defense was ridiculous. Would have liked a little less time wasting, but that's the dark magic of the EFL and football in general. So those are my thoughts. If you're seeing this between 1 and 1:30, excuse me, that's my time, 6 and 6:30 UK. Gotta do those translations. Check out Sky Blue Fans TV live stream show. Live on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook for the Unks. But yeah, that's that. Keep an eye out for tomorrow's EFL Match Week 5 recap video. And then we might even get into some predictions this week. So keep an eye out for that. Thanks if you made it to the end. Let me know down below what you agree and disagree with. And peace.